Today we're going to look at the concept of adding a dormer opening as well as a return gable. So the first thing we're going to do, as you can see here, we have our building. Alright, we've already got one cut. We'll go through the process of that. The other one we're going to go ahead and start off with creating a reverse gable or an eyebrow. So the process is you select your roof plan, you edit the footprint of it. And typically what I will do is I will basically use roof lines to map out where I want that eyebrow to be. So whether it's in the center of a wall or if it's off to the side or whatever, but I'll use the roof sketch lines to create that boundary or that area. Okay. And the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to split this edge. Okay, so what we've created now is we have two individual roof sections here. We can trim those back to these areas and back to here. And then we're going to come in and we're going to just fill in this portion, but this one we're going to leave it as a non-defining slope. So now that we have our area set, we can delete our reference lines. And the next thing we can do is we're going to use our slope arrows. That's how we're going to create that eyebrow effect. So when you come in here, we're going to start at one end, and we're going to slope it up till we get to the midpoint. Okay? And then we're going to do the same thing on the opposite side. So we'll start at one end, and we'll slope it up to here. Okay? Then we're going to select our slope arrows, and we're going to adjust their properties. We're going to make it pretty simple. We're just going to give it a slope versus worrying about the height at the tail, and we're going to give it a slope of a 6/12. And we'll go ahead and say OK, and we will go ahead and finish. So now, when we look at this in 3D, you have created a return or an eyebrow gable that you can now come in, select your wall, tell it to attach to the roof, and it will fill in that area. Alright, the next thing we're going to look at is going to be creating a dormer opening. Okay, so what I have here is I have a created dormer, and we're going to go ahead and make another one. The purpose of creating the dormers allows you, as you can see in this 3D view, to create an area where the roof is cut back. As you can see here, the roof actually does cut back and follow around that area. Okay, so the process of this is we're going to go ahead and we're going to lay out some additional walls on our roof area. Okay. And we're going to give them a height of, let's say, 7 feet. And we're going to go ahead and start here at the midpoint. And we'll go back about 10 feet. And then I'm going to offset that wall to get the width of my dormer. So I can erase this wall. Now I just need to finish in or fill in the front here. So when we look at this in 3D, we have something similar to this. Now as you can see, based upon our roof area, we'll need to bring these back farther. We can worry about those later. The other thing we want to make sure is we have our exterior portions of our walls actually facing out. Okay. Then we're going to go ahead and we can add a roof to this dormer. So we'll go ahead and we'll click on the roof, say create similar, and then we'll go ahead and give it the standard 1 foot overhang. And we'll create that roof on our actual dormer. Okay, now this back side we're going to turn off the slope. And we're going to select the rest of this roof and we're going to give it a smaller. We're going to select the rest of the roof and we're going to give it a smaller slope. Okay, so we go ahead and we say finish. Now as you can see here, because we put the roof on the wrong area, we'll go ahead and select it, offset it that 7 feet, and now our roof is sitting there. Now the reason we left the back side as a non-sloping area is so that I can come in here, I can select this, but I can select my join roofs. When I click this, I'll select this edge, I'll select my surface edge, and the roof itself will actually join in. Okay, so we've got our dormer created. So the next video we're going to look at actually cutting into that dormer.